birthday! How are you doing? It's your wellness coach, Coach Sisa over here. Please do feel free to call me Olingomso. You can call me Sisa, but on a serious note, welcome back to my channel. It feels really good to be recording again once more. So today, basically, a topic is all about forgiveness. And the reason why we're talking about forgiveness and some of the things that really hurt me in the past, it's because, you know, with this lockdown happening, you get to realize that, you know what, life is too short. Life is too short. Who agrees with me on that one? Okay. So the reason why I decided that, okay, let me just share on this topic and actually just enjoy, you know, enlighten people. In Bilo, it's not perfect. Relationships with our loved ones, they're not perfect. It's either it's your husband, it's your ex-husband, it's your boyfriend, it's your sister, it's your mom, it's your dad, stepmom, stepdad, you name it. Just building relationships in general, it is not easy. And what tends to happen is that in the process of building those relationships, we'll get to hurt each other's feelings, we get to hurt one another, and we get to disappoint one another in the process. And all of those things, guys, they're just not worth it at the end, especially with realizing that life is too short. What if I die today? What if the person that dies tomorrow? Is it really worth it? I don't think so. So the past years, I don't remember how many years, I really had a problem or a situation with my sister. This is something that I've shared with people that I have really been close with, and whenever I go back, I always ask myself, how did we get to that part or point in our lives with her? Because I remember growing up, this person used to be there for me all the time, guys, and we really had a good relationship going on. Like, my sister, guys, was like everything that I could ever ask for in a sister. She took the role of my mom because our mother got sick when we were still young. I think I was around about Kawa's age when my mom got sick, and 84 and 89, so you can try and see how old was she back then, you know. And our mom got sick for quite some time, and it was due to a divorce that mom and dad had, you know. I'm not gonna dwell on that. I was a baby back then, I didn't know anything. Even when I grew up and I heard about it, I didn't want to be involved because, remember, mom and dad had their own relationship. It did not mean anything with me getting involved in it, so let's leave it like that. So we were really close with my sister because we grew up with Umama Okulayo, number one, and it was just us girls, you know, BFFs, you know, we look alike, you know. So it was like, you know what, it's me and you, girl. And I remember 21st birthday, she did it for me, guys. She did almost everything. I went to school because of this person, you know. Not that other people at home did not contribute towards my education or anything at home, because remember, our mom was sick, had stroke, and also strokes like affected her mentally. So basically, she could not do anything to support us financially, even to be there for us emotionally. So we had to rely on our aunts, you know, on each other, you know, as cousins and sisters, because I'm from like a big family. And I was fortunate enough that I did not feel like, you know, it's me and my sister alone in whatever. We always had a proper and a good support structure, whether it was like a support that was coming from a male perspective or a woman perspective or whatever, but we always had someone to talk to, always had someone to run to, always had a shoulder to cry on at all times, which was just a blessing, guys. So that is just to build a bit of, you know, an eyesight, or I don't know, just to really understand, you know. But this was the person that I really looked up to. And I remember when we were staying in Durban, even when my sister grew up, guys, and she was at varsity, you know, she was that stylish girl, you know, that stylish girl that I looked up to, you know, the way she dressed, the way she was, she was the ish, you know. And I always said that thing that, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be like my sister, you know, I want to be like my sister. Even when I moved to Joburg 2014, like, she gave me her suitcase, she was so excited for me, she was so happy for me, you know, she was rooting for me, and you know, and I never thought that anything would come between us. Unfortunately, something did. So when my life started here in Joburg, I started dating. I think now I was at a space where I felt like, okay, my sister is comfortable with my man, so I was just relaxed in all aspects of my relationship in such a way that I got pregnant, you know. And I think the pregnancy was one thing that came between us, guys. I don't know how, but it really did. And it's so sad that I've never asked my sister whatever happened to us, because whatever that happened, it was there for years. I had to stay for years without a bigger sister, and it was quite challenging for me because I'd never my whole life been in a position where I had to do things on my own, you know. And remember, at that time I wasn't in a position where I'm at now. My relationship with my partner was still new, and we got pregnant. Yes, we're in love. He was more excited than me about the pregnancy. I was not 100% sure of the whole thing because we didn't plan to have a child. You know, it was just that we were in love and we were naive, and us being naive get us to, you know, having a baby. You know, so. Me not having a bigger sister at that phase in my life was just something that I never expected, especially growing up knowing that my mom, you know, was in the condition that she was in. So I prepped myself for my mom being unavailable for a whole lot of things in my life, but I never prepared myself for my sister. And it just happened that, you know, in that period or phase of my pregnancy, I had to prepare myself that, okay, I get a call and things were just bad, you know. And you know, when you've been really close with someone, your blood, and you know everything about each other, you know, you run to each other about every single thing. And then when something big happens, when there's a huge shift in your life and you're like, I need this person, and that person is nowhere to be found, how that feels like. I never imagine or wish this on anybody, especially if you've grown up with someone and you've connected in a level, your blood, like family. I don't wish this on anyone, like your sister, your brother, your mom, uncle, whoever. I don't wish that anything comes between anyone that hurts or disappoints anyone, in a matter that they spend years without talking to one another, without texting one another, without knowing what's happening in each other's lives. Because, yo guys, it is really not so nice. I'm not gonna dwell too much on what really happened, because I also don't know what really happened between us. And as much as we are okay now, but we've never had a session where we've actually sat down and went into details on what really happened. And I do hope and pray that God gives me the strength to actually go back to that, because I feel like we still need to talk about it at some point in our lives. We can't just brush it off as if it never affected us, because for me it did, and I'm sure it also affected her in a different way, you know. And because we are also, you know, getting to know one another, I feel like we have to go back and see what happened, so that moving forward we don't put ourselves in the same position we did back then, especially with everything that has drastically changed in our lives. So the whole thing that happened between me and my sister affected me in a way that I lost trust in building relationships with people. To connect with people, to trust people, it was something that was really challenging for me. And to even rely on people, it was something that I was really challenged, because I mean, my own blood, disappointed me, hurt me, So trusting someone that I was not related with, building a relationship with someone that I was not close with, it just made me to want to take a step back and be like, you know what, I can do this whole life thing all by myself. I don't need anybody, and I think that's where this other character about myself grew. I'm a hard worker, guys, and I put my all into something, and I also had to learn in the process not to mind a whole lot of things that are being said by people to me. I also had to know that, you know what, I have no one else but myself to rely on. And this is not to say that my cousins and my aunts were not there, they were there, but guys, it was not the same, it was just not the same. But I had to live life with what I had, because that's our team, the sister was unavailable, but impilo had to go on, the impilo had to continue. And I'm expecting, I don't know anything about motherhood, my mom is not there, so also I felt that, this also put a pressure on my partner on a whole lot, on a different level, because now with everything that was happening, he was also there, he was seeing everything, and I'm sure at some point he really felt really sorry for me. And also his family, I think they were trying so much to make sure that I'm enjoying my pregnancy, I've got everything that I need under the circumstances, because I mean, there was not much that they could do, and there was not much that I could do as well. So because of that, at some point I had to really cut ties with my sister. I had to block her on my social medias. I stopped contacting her, and literally I had to prepare myself that, you know what, I'm gonna live life without her. Was that easy? Hell no. I gave birth, my baby was 1, 2, still my sister wasn't there. All of those things I couldn't share with her, and all the time when I had to think about it, I felt like, oh my goodness, Kawe is missing out on having, my guys, why kid, and all the time when I had to go home, there are things that also when you're a mom you think about, and I would think about, oh my goodness, Kawe, is he not gonna know my sister? I know, okay, maybe something might have happened between us, but she was once a good person. I would want my child to know her, and I would think, because I had a baby before my sister, and I would think, what if it's her turn to have a child? Will I not know her child? Will I not get the opportunity of being umagazi to my only sister's babies, in future? Will we be that family that now, we no longer know one another, we don't care about what's happening in each other's lives? And guys, this is a huge thing that happens amongst our families a lot, where siyakhula but ekukhuleni kwethu, relationships, they just change, they just but life continued, and as life continued, it was not easy, and as much as it was not easy, I had to move on with my life, of which I did. I prayed about my situation. I prayed for strength. I prayed that, I learned to forgive myself and my sister. I learned to put the past behind. I learned that one day I learned to start or initiate being the bigger person, in such a way that even when she was not interested in building any relationship with me or seeing me or whatever, that I would be like, girl, I need to see you because we have to talk about mom. Girl, I need to see you. I will have to call you because we have to talk about this, So at some point I had to be the bigger person, so that, You know, we could talk about certain things, especially things that had to, you know, concern our mom as Mama Behlala in a home, you know. And that also was not easy because remember, when you're not in good terms with the person, you don't know what to expect. You know, out of the blue while you're trying to do the right thing, you know. So I was always that person that was ready for the punches all the time, you know, because at some point I was like, God, you know what, let it be. Let it be the way you want it to be. You know, I don't like what is happening between us, but I think also I was not ready to be in a space where I'm like, you know, when I was not ready to actually forgive her. So that's why I think I prayed about it, you know, more than anything, so that when time came for me to actually like say, I honestly mean it, you know. And we continued kanjalo, like life continued like that. We would meet for like talking about mom, and that was it, because this person was not even going at home, you know. So it was not like I had a lot of, you know, opportunities to actually meet with her so that we could resolve things much more quicker or faster. But last year something moving, something touching really happened, and it was really unexpected, guys. I'm not going to lie.